The largest mammal to have ever walked the earth after the dinosaurs is facing imminent extinction, thanks to the increasing sophistication of techniques used to fell the jumbo. Tsavo Conservation Area spends more than 15 million shillings a month just to protect wildlife from poachers, money that, according to the Kenya Wildlife Service, could be used to improve the conservancy and attract more visitors.
Doing the mathematics, 60 times 8, that is 480,000 Kenya shillings. You have not put in fuel for the vehicles, you have not put in man hours for the staff, and also the fuel for the fixed for the fixed aircraft, because we use 3 of them. So you can imagine that kind of resource. That's why we say that this livestock business is giving us a lot of challenge in Tsavo, to the extent that we sometimes do too much of livestock and open up other areas which are also important.
Besides those at the greatest risk after the wildlife are the rangers employed to guard the animals from the marauding criminals. Against this background, a bill proposing stiffer penalties currently underway in Parliament hopes to end the menace and in effect save the ecosystem.
Whatever the offense is and whatever the penalty you put, unless you deal with it at source, changing the behavior, you never get a positive result. So it may be a good public relations exercise sometimes to threaten. If you have a system that says, okay, we are going to charge you 5 million Kenya shillings if you are caught, and there is only 1% chance that you will be caught, it will not serve as well as if there was a system which says we will charge you 10,000 shillings, but there is always 90% plus chance of ever being caught.
But the environmental lawyer Benson Ocheng argues that the bill in its current form may not yield much, as stiffer penalties may not be a deterrent. And as Parliament tightens the anti-poaching laws, the bill also proposes the creation of a licensing authority to regulate the wildlife conservation sector, since there are too many institutions with overlapping roles.
I think the whole institutional arrangement that is proposed is not going to be very workable, especially when you have somebody always hanging, calling themselves a regulatory council or regulatory body that essentially will sit in Nairobi and trying to superintend what the other people are doing in the sector, but without the necessary technical expertise.
The biggest challenge is also that poaching has attracted communities living adjacent to national parks and game reserves, professionals in veterinary science, and pseudo-conservationists who are benefiting from the vice. Besides the physical loss of the jumbos, Dr. Paula Kahumbo says the decimation is causing the fast disappearance of a crucial gene pool found in the elephants.
We know, for example, that elephants can communicate at a vocal frequency lower than 20 hertz, that is outside of the human hearing range. Elephants can't only hear such tremendous distances, but they can also identify who is speaking. They have a secret language that is so complex that we don't really understand it. Elephants don't only listen with their gigantic ears, they also listen with their feet. They can feel vibrations over 150 kilometers away. This is a species that is so magnificent that we may lose within the next decade.
A gene pool is the genetic information in any population, usually of a particular species, at which the basic level of evolution occurs. And when the older elephants are mauled, the entire herd is devastated, both physically and emotionally.
Kumquat was a 44-year-old elephant who was world famous. She was one of the best known elephants. She was a matriarch. Her entire family was slaughtered, except a calf named Kwanzaa was found standing next to the, carved up body of her aunt.
Conservationists say streamlining the institutions dealing with conservation is one way to save the elephants. The other solution lies in behavior change, as social scientists argue that it is the risk of getting caught that deters criminals from crime, as opposed to the size of the penalty, which is currently being proposed in the new bill.
I think we need to take it with a bit more seriousness than probably talking about stiffer penalties and whatever kind of sentences that we are thinking about, I don't think that is going to take us anywhere. We just need to look at it again and wonder how to change behavior, how to ensure that we tighten the system so that offenders are caught and punished at whatever level. And of course, that will take also involving communities. So how we get local communities and those traditional systems to be part and parcel of the official management mechanisms. If we do all that, I think we might just be able to hack it.
In July this year, a massive catch of 1.5 tons of ivory was discovered in Mombasa, destined for Malaysia. This year alone, 137 elephants have fallen by the poacher's bullet out of a population of 38,000 elephants in Kenya. The situation has attracted numerous campaigns, the latest being the Hands Off Our Elephants, which was officially launched by the First Lady Margaret Kenyatta. For Earthwatch, I'm Judith Akolo.